Hey everyone, welcome back to another Kevin's Kreations here on Geektopia Island. I'm Kevin.
I'm Cardwell.
And today, we're showing off a new deck that I call Darklighters. It is a little wild black-red deck, but we'll get into it in just a second. I just remind everybody that we do have a Patreon. The link will be down below, guys. Check it out, look it over, see what you like, see what you don't like. And if you'd love to, just give us an extra $1. It would be greatly appreciated. And with that, we're going to delve into the Darklighters deck. And it is with our guy Melgis. We're back to strangers. We're just jumping back and forth, you know.
Yeah,
sometimes you gotta use new cards. So Melgis, he's got the stranger rule, which is stranger 10, and it essentially is you have a stranger deck with 10 cards in it, and it can only be resonators that have stranger in them. And it is 2 of each kind, so you can only have max of 2, but you get them at random whenever you get a stranger. Pretty neat. It's actually relatively balanced, because you get them at random, otherwise it'd be too good.
Yeah, because they're very powerful.
Yeah.
Dudes.
But his judgment is 2 red and a black, and the energizes for red or black, and then whenever a fire regalia enters the field under your control, choose one. If the regalia is Leviathan, choose up to 2 instead. You choose a card from your stranger deck at random and put it in your hand. This card deals 500 damage to target player or J Resonator, or put a 7/1 fire resonator with swiftness into play. And at the end of turn, its controller banishes it, or you may pay 0 to do judgment this turn.
Yeah.
So when you play his regalia, you get 2 of them, and you can just be like, I get a 7/1 and I get a stranger or whatever. It gets kind of silly the amount of stuff you can do with that.
For sure.
And then his judgment side is he's a 10/10 with first strike. He enters, you choose a card from your stranger deck at random and put it into the field. So neat. God's Art. You pay a red and a black, banish a resonator, you draw 2 cards, and then you choose a stranger from random and put it in your field. So he essentially gets to get 2 strangers on the backside and put them into play. And you draw extra cards when you use his God's Art. So it's pretty sweet. You don't really care if a couple of your resonators die because they're supposed to be in the graveyard, but it just helps.
And the fact that you can make the 7/1 and flip them, and then God's Art with the Leviathan, and then sacrifice that 7/1.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll go into a stranger deck, and the main reason I wanted to make this deck is this stranger right here. Astema, the Fallen Angel of Desolation. She is 3 black for a 10/10. And then it has flying and drain. At the beginning of each player's turn, that player banishes a non-Fallen Angel Resonator. So every turn, we're killing dudes. Unless you play all Fallen Angels, which is pretty much what we're doing.
Yep.
So it is kind of a tribal deck. And that's okay. Next up is Chulainn, the hero in a far land. He is 2 red and a black for a 10/10 with first strike and bane. This card gains swiftness and precision as long as your life is 2,000 or less. And whenever this card attacks, your opponent discards a card.
Super good.
Yeah,
Love this card.
He can get 4 keywords. He already has 2 guaranteed, and then he can get 2 more, which is kind of disgusting.
And the first 2 are like one of the strongest combined keywords you can ever have.
Yeah. One of my other favorite of the new strangers is Azazel, the Blazing Charger. He is a red and a black for a 7/7. Resonators you control gain swiftness. Whenever a resonator you control is put into a graveyard from the field, this card does 200 damage to target player or J Resonator. And then pay a red, target J Resonator must attack or block this turn if able. So he just gives your dude swiftness, and that's automatically amazing. And then if your dudes die, so if you do have to sacrifice dudes to the other Astema, then they're taking damage for it. Sweet.
Yep.
Next up is Shade. He is a black and 1 for a 6/6. He's got Bane, and when he enters, your opponent banishes Resonator. And when he's put into the graveyard from the field, your opponent banishes Resonator. So he can kill 3 dudes for 2 mana.
Yep.
That is the epitome of value city.
Yeah, efficiency.
Yeah. Next up is Amon, the Demon Prince of Conspiracy. He is 1 black. As this card enters the field, pay any amount of life. This card enters the field with a 1 counter on it for each 100 paid this way. Draw a card for each 700 life that you pay to this card as it enters the battlefield.
Yes.
And this triggers really well with one of the other cards in the deck, and it's kind of funny if you get to do it that way.
Yeah, that would be super silly, actually. And if you're lucky enough to have it turn 2 with a token, you could possibly kill someone that turn.
Yeah, he gets pretty ridiculous, because you can just be like, he gets 38 counters.
Yeah.
You're playing a dangerous game at that point, but you get there.
Exactly.
But that is it for the Stranger deck, and we'll delve into the main deck.
And which is the first Resonator we have is, of course, Fallen Angel of the Ritual. 1 black, 3/3. This card gains +4/+2 in flying as long as you control 4 or more darkness magic stones, which you will, for sure.
Yeah, you definitely will have them.
And one of the best fallen angels here of Fiery Vengeance, 1 black, 4/4. Treat magic darkness stones as they were fire stones, and you can tap for a fire will. Tap, banish this card, set your deck for another one of these, and put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. But why would you want to do that? Well, you can pay 200 life, remove this card from your graveyard from the game, and target J/Resonator. Gains 0 minus 400 until end of turn. So you can kill a lot of things with this guy.
Yeah. Dude, that dude is one of the best one-drops right now, just because he can do anything, really. Like, that he needs to do, he can get it done.
Yeah, and he replaces himself.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Next up is Fleurety. It is 2 black for a 5/5. It is unfortunately a demon. It should be a fallen angel, but I digress. Enter, you choose a number. Your opponent reveals a card from their hand at random. If the revealed card total is equal to the chosen number, they discard it. Which this will help because there's cards that let you see their opponent's hand in his deck, so you get to know kind of what they're doing.
Exactly.
And then next we also have Lucifer, the leader of the fallen angels. He is 2 black and 1 for a 7/9 flyer. You pay 1,000 life. This card gets +2/+2 until the end of turn. So you can do it as many times as you want to pay the life.
Yeah.
And you can pay a black, and 1, pay 1,000 life, discard a card, put this card from your graveyard into the field. And at the end of your turn, you gain life equal to the amount of life you lost this turn. So if this dude's in play, you can do all the silly life loss cards you want.
Yeah.
It's still a dangerous game because if they're like, hey, cool, kill your Lucifer after that, then you don't really get that. But
yeah.
if they're tapped out, you just get to take advantage of it. Exactly. So if you have this dude in play and you have an Amon, you're like, cool. And they're tapped out, you're like, cool, pay 39 life.
Yeah. Exactly.
He's big. I draw lots of cards. And then now you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And you gain all that back. It's kind of silly. It's like Lucifer's a very dangerous card to play.
Yeah.
But if he's played correctly, he can do a lot for you.
Yeah. Especially since there's new cards in the new set coming out that were spoiled. Oof.
Yeah.
Gonna be really useful.
It's gonna be real fun.
All right, and now we're here to my baby girl waifu, Astema, the Returnee of Hatred. 2 darkness, 1/7/6 flyer. Enter. Opponent loses 500 life. If there are 3 or more runes revealed, you gain 500. Obviously, we have no runes, so that's okay. Pay 400 life, draw a card, and then pay 1,000 life. Your opponent loses 500, and only once per turn your turn, and that's okay.
Yeah, if I don't get to gain 5 life, that's okay. Because I'll still pay 3 mana to deal you 5 automatically, and then have the ability to kill you whenever.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with Lucifer on the field, you play Lucifer, and then be like, I'll pay 1,400 life. I'll draw a card, deal you 5, and then I gain that back, and then thank you.
Yeah, it gets silly if they're both in play.
Yeah. And the next one is an old returning favorite, Azazel, the fallen angel of Gloom. 2 black and 2, 9/1000. Flying. You may pay 2 less for this card if your opponent has 1 or less cards in their hand, which will probably happen. Enter. Choose one. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put a card from among them in your hand, and the rest in the graveyard, or target 2 Resonators your opponent's controls, your opponent's banishes 1 of them. So, you lose no value out of this. If they only have 1 Resonator, then you just look at the top 2, or you get rid of one of their 2 most powerful Resonators.
Yeah, and it can be a 2-drop 9/9.
Yeah.
Great. Next creature we got is Shemhaza, the fallen angel of Sadism. She's 2 black and 2 for a 10/10 flyer. And it enters, your opponent discards a card, and then as long as your opponent has 2 or less cards in hand, this card gets +4/+4. So this card is kind of like it's a sneaky card. Because you don't really pay attention to it until it's 2 less cards, and then you're like, it's 14/14, I can't deal with.
Yeah.
Because it's got flying. 14/14 kills every J-ruler in the game right now.
Yeah.
Just without caring. She can easily just be like, oh, you're Brunhild? That's cool, it's dead. Thanks. She can get a lot done with just being a 14/14.
Just being herself.
Yep. And the final major fallen angel we have of the deck is Belial, the evil from the scriptures. He is a black and 3. He's a 12/12. He comes into play, you destroy all non-fallen angel resonators. So really it's a board wipe for them.
Yep.
And then if your life is 1,000 or less, you would pay 3 life to play this card. And then whenever the Resonator is put into a graveyard from the field, this card deals 100 damage to your opponent. So again, if you have the mana, and you have a Lucifer in play, you get to be really, really mean.
Yeah.
You're like, cool, play Amon for 1, pay 30 life, go under 10, play this dude for 3, kill their board,
Yeah.
and then gain all that back.
And then their board is way better than theirs for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it's kind of disgusting.
That's pretty silly. All right, the next one, or the spell that we have here is the Bloody Break. It's one of the most powerful ones. Black, red, quick cast, destroy target J Resonator. If that's all it had on it, it'd be great.
Yeah.
But it has more. This card was Awakened. Choose a card from your stranger deck at random and put it in your hand, and the Awakening cost is 1 red. So yeah. So I can't remember that. Yeah. So it's just super good.
Yeah, 3 mana, you get to kill a dude and get a thing.
Get it, dude.
Like, you get free people and you kill a dude.
Yep.
Seems good.
The fact that you can also just kill a J Resonator for 2 will is insane.
Yeah.
Now, one of the best cards also is Look of Corruption. 1 darkness, champ. Look at your opponent's hand, choose a card with 4 or less, then discard that card. If that card was Awakened, then you choose a card with total 5 or more, and then discard that card. Which Awakening is a black and 1, which you probably never ever do anymore nowadays. Everything seems to be very powerful with 4 or under.
Yeah. And this card, you want to try to do Look of Corruption like turn 1 or turn 2.
Yeah.
If you get it early, you're like, cool, turn 1 Look of Corruption, know what's in their hand, and they have like 2 2-drops, you're like, cool, turn 2 Fleurety, pick 2.
Yeah.
Because your likelihood to get it is a lot more, because you know what's in their hand then.
Especially, yeah, if you do a turn 1, get rid of their Regalia as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Probably what needs to happen.
And speaking of Regalia, we're going over his now. Leviathan, it is a red and a black. For a mythic, you can only control 1. Your J ruler gains swiftness, and then tap, produce 2 will of any combination of red or black. Spend this will only to play God's Arts, Strangers, or Sword Arts.
Yep.
This is mainly in here to play your Strangers for free or cheap, and your we have 1 Sword Art because we're playing mostly creatures.
Yeah.
But this Leviathan is really there to help you play the Strangers because they need more red than there is anything else in the deck, so it just helps you get the red.
Yep.
The lands are really simple because it's 2 colors, so it's really straightforward.
Yep.
We have Magic Stone of the Scorched Bales, which is the red-black dual stone. Adarachnia's Memoria, which he is red-black, it is a red-black dual stone. However, though, it is not a darkness stone. You have to pay attention to that, so your 1 angel doesn't get as big. Yeah. But that's okay. And then we have 2 darkness magic stones, because most of the deck is darkness.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make sure we always get darkness on turn 1, and you pretty much will get it.
Yeah. That J Ruler stone is one of the most powerful stones I've seen them play, and it's worth it.
Yeah.
Extremely good.
It is very much worth it to not worry about having the darkness, because you only need 4 to make that thing big, and you're going to get them otherwise. But that is it for the deck, guys. The deck list will be down below. Go check it out. It's going to be super fun to play. I'm pretty excited to play it just to see what it does.
Oh, yeah.
I love tribal decks. I always have. I always will. So just know that tribal's a great thing.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you guys, and see you again next time.
Goodbye.
Also, guys, just remind y'all to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and if you want to keep up to date on all our future content, make sure you click that bell. It'll give you all the notifications you need.
With that, we'd like to go ahead and give a big thank you to all our fans that support us through the year, and especially our Patreon support people. We do like to give a shout out to our Mythic and Above supporters, and that would be Dwayne Higgs. Thank you very much. We love you.